order to combat misinformation or to understand how scientific knowledge is produced, you really need to understand how science is done, and you really need to understand what the scientific process is about. That's the only way, the fact of being part of the process and not just being exposed to the final result.
New trends were coming from these projects. NEWSERA helped to co-create processes that are integrating projects in the ecosystem. They work together with different stakeholders right now. Private sector, NGOs, public administration are involved together with the Citizen Science Project in order to achieve the goal.
Open data, open access, open tools approach is a must. Open science is also related to the feedback and communication with participants in order to build a very strong community.
It's important to start since the beginning in collecting data that might be useful to understand how their strategies are impacting in terms of outputs, but moreover in terms of outcomes.
Usually when we talk about citizen science, we tend to look at citizens as our main target audience. It was challenging to look how we could achieve and get our messages directed to researchers and involve them more in citizen science, because we tend to look at this stakeholder as for granted, but it is one of the most challenging ones.
From this lab, we elaborated in a co-created way a checklist of good practices in communication and citizen science projects, and we also identified a list of bad practices.
So I think the methodology that we used in NEWSERA about having co-creation throughout the entire project, I think this was very useful in terms of bringing together different stakeholders, the projects, and also introduce science communication professionals. And another thing very important is also that we used co-creation internally as a team in everything that we developed in the project. So this is a very open approach, a very collaborative approach, inclusive.
Citizen science journalism is an innovative type of concept. The idea is that we can combine and integrate the activity of the citizen science project with the one of the science journalists and data journalists.
I'm very proud to have been able to work with 39 projects, citizen science projects within NEWSERA, sharing common needs like improving our science communication strategies, co-creating them, testing the impacts, and having been able to mutually learn from each other and feeling that we are not alone. And this is a real need for all the citizen science community and for science in general, in fact.
So we have the blueprints, we have a guide for citizen science communication. We started or are pushing into a new concept of citizen science journalism that we approach also in innovative ways with a very interactive conference and also an exhibition that will also continue after the project. So I think these are some of the best things that came out from this project, and I invite everyone to go to our website to learn more.
Le giuste strategie di comunicazione. Diálogos desafiantes.
Creatividad, apertura de mente y objetivos claros.
Expansión, consolidación y comunidad.
Inovação, novos horizontes, ideias.
Ser adaptativo.
Confronto, diálogo e networking.
Colaboração, foco, persistência.
Resiliência.
Strategie di comunicazione focalizzate.
Capire il pubblico target.
Superare le barriere della comunicazione.
Reconocimiento, codiseño y mutuo aprendizaje.